What's up, you guys? My name is Daniel, and on this channel, we talk about personal finance and stock market investing. And today, a lot of my viewers have been asking me about CloudMD as well as Wealthsimple Technologies, because both these stocks had a very turbulent day today as well, and also in the past couple of weeks. Just with the general stock market dropping, first off, I want to say that both CloudMD and Wealthsimple Technologies were not immune to this. They both also dropped. So I think for the most part, these stocks were dropping just in parallel with the stock market. But other than that, we'll dive into each individual chart and just kind of talk about my thoughts behind both these stocks and whether right now is maybe a good time to continue averaging in, or if I see the stock dropping any further. So let's jump right into my computer right here, and I have the charts pulled open, so let's do it. So right now, as you can see, I'm filming Wealthsimple Technologies, and I just have the chart open in my QUESTRADE account. And there are a few different things that I'm looking at here. We have the 200-day moving average, 100-day, and the 50-day moving average. And here you can see that Wealthsimple Technologies has not even dropped to the 50-day moving average, which to me it says that the stock has run up quite far. Another thing that we should look at here is that there's some good support at the $6.32 level or 25-cent level, but you can see that the last time we had a support level here, you can see in this cluster right here, it formed a bit of a wedge before moving up, but I'd say a support level is right in the middle of this wedge. And just like that, Wealthsimple today came down to the support level. It even went a bit lower, but then investors decided to push it back up. Another thing that going forward for Wealthsimple Technologies is that if it doesn't hold this support level, the next support level we'll see is right around this level here, which is at the $4.98 mark or $5 mark, really. And you can see that the 50-day moving average is sitting around there. I think it'll take at least a week or so for it to drop to that level because that's quite a significant drop, roughly around a 20% drop from where it's at today. So I think that possibly we could see that over the next week, but if it hits this support level, this is where I'd be looking to adding to my position fairly heavily for Wealthsimple Technologies. Right now, personally, I would only add a few shares here and there, a smaller percentage than if it did drop to the next support level. Another thing that we can look at here is the RSI. The RSI is still sitting around the 50 level, which is not totally oversold. As well as the MACD, its trend is showing that it just started its trend downwards. So you can see that there's a crossover in the MACD here. And usually when there's a crossover, if we look back here, it takes a while for it to bottom out and then cross back over and move back up. So I expect the MACD to continue going downwards and then maybe crossing over a couple weeks or maybe even a couple months from now. Likely I'd say a couple weeks because the stock is fairly volatile. So if you're looking to start a position in Wealthsimple Technologies or continue averaging in, I wouldn't go too heavy right now. Now let's go over to CloudMD. So, CloudMD. So if we go into CloudMD's chart, we'll actually look at the one-day chart today because there's some pretty interesting action. I got quite a few messages on some of my videos saying, freaking out about CloudMD when it dropped down to about $1.60 this morning. And it was quite a steep drop if we consider where it was just earlier on this month. It went up to the $2.30 level before dropping all the way back to $1.60. And just some rough math there, that's a 30 to 40% drop in the stock price. And today it had a pretty huge recovery though. So it swung down in the morning and then, slowly gathered back more strength and moved back up. And I think the reason behind this is recently there's been a lot of hype into CloudMD and investors were looking for deals in the stock. And, at $1.60, people figured that, I can't get the stock any cheaper. So they started buying heavier there. And if we look at the volume for today, there was quite heavy volume here. And we did start off down here, and then you see this candlestick where it had this very long tail. That just kind of tells the story that, the stock pushed down, but then investors came back up and rallied the stock forward. As we see in the green candle here, the starting point of a green candle is at the lowest point of the fat part of the candle, and then it went down and then came back up. So there's some pretty good strength to CloudMD here, I'd say, from today's trading. And some pretty good volume as well, as the volume was higher than the past 3 days, which showed that investors overall are bullish on CloudMD and saw the chance to scoop up shares at a fairly cheap price. Another one of my subscribers was talking about CloudMD and their latest news on their secondary offering, which was at around $1.38 or $1.36, either one of those two prices, and that's significantly below its current price today at the end of the day at $1.96. So they were wondering if CloudMD might fall to that, and my personal opinion on that is I think that CloudMD, if they keep on pushing forward in their business, keep on acquiring new customers and growing at an insane rapid pace, I don't think they're going to see the $1.38 levels anytime soon. So personally, I think that today was a pretty good buying opportunity, but with market volatility and the stock market continuing to go down, if we see that in the future, I think that we could maybe see $1.50 in the stock. But wait, before we go, I should also talk about the RSI and the MACD for CloudMD. So right now, the MACD actually is quite high for CloudMD. You can see that for the MACD, we're at the 0.27 level, which is significantly higher than the past for it. So right now, I think this sort of presents a fair amount of risk still, just based on the MACD. So right now, I think based on the MACD purely alone, it does present a lot of risk. But I feel like the MACD can still drop and the stock could just trade sideways for a bit, such that the stock valuation catches up to the actual business fundamentals. For the RSI, 58 is a fairly average level for CloudMD. We could probably see it drop a bit more and maybe the stock price will drop further because we had the rally today. So we may see more weak hands in CloudMD just sell out in the next few days, and maybe we'll see the $1.50 stock price come back. But the support level, I'd say, is around the $1.58 level, where if you see the stock drop to there, maybe it's a good time to average in. I think right now, today or tomorrow, if the stock price sits around $2, I would probably not average in myself if I had plans to average into the stock. Anyways, that's all that I have for you guys on CloudMD and Wealthsimple Technologies. It was a bit of a rambly video, but hopefully you guys get an idea of what I'm thinking about with these two stocks. So I wanted to put this out quickly for you guys because there was a lot of action in these two stocks. If you enjoyed this video, smash the thumbs up button, as well as subscribe to my channel because I will have an update on my Wealthsimple trade portfolio, and that should be coming out either this weekend or Monday next week. And that will show you all the moves that I made in my Wealthsimple trade portfolio. And let me tell you, there's quite a bit of action in the month of September. I probably did somewhere between 5 or 10 trades within 1 month, as well as I made a deposit of $1,000 recently. So you'll see that there on that episode. Anyways, keep up the grind and have a great day.